Well, hello everyone. It is Friday, the 17th of June, 2021. I am Dale Delbridge, Benchmark Realty, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. This is your status chat and I have your numbers. Now, I do these things every week and I try to be informative or entertaining or something worth watching. And this week I think we'll have something particularly informative. I would like for you to watch it. Try to speed things up as much as humanly possible, but there's a lot to cover in this, and I think it will answer some questions that you have, maybe answer some questions you didn't know you had, and I think at the end of the day, you'll be better off knowing what I have here in the next few minutes for you, because it's going to help you with understanding how inflation is created and what causes it and that sort of thing. At the end of the middle segment, I make reference to a video that I have queued up and got ready for you in the description of the status chat, in which it appears. This one below, the last link, is that queued video by the Atlanta Fed. Do watch it. I think it'll help quite a bit. Let's get to that middle segment. Well, welcome to the middle segment. If you're not familiar with the middle segment, it's generally when I either bring an article that I discuss from the internet or something that's off the beaten path, something private. And in this case, I'm bringing you several things because this is an important show. And if I talk really quickly, I apologize for that in advance. I'm just trying to keep your runtime to a minimum. And as always, anything I do bring from the internet, I provide that full link to the thing as I saw it on the day of production in the description of the status chat in which that thing appeared. So let's go ahead and get over to the first screen. This is from the fedprimerate.com. It's a regular web page. It is not a secure HTTPS. I'll bring that to your attention for whatever reason. And I call this a versus chart because that's what it is. We have different percentages and ratio type charts, whatever. This thing is just four different things compared to each other. Their interest rates, their percentage rates, okay, their yield or the interest. And it covers the span from 1999 to just about July, which obviously hasn't happened because this was last updated. It says May 31st. We are now in June the 17th. So what do we know? Pay attention to the blue line. This is the prime rate. These two are the mortgage rates. And the bottom one, the red, is the government's T-bill. Okay, it's T-rate. Now we see at about 1999, we already have these two mortgages are all subprime until about 2001, where the prime rate started to drop down. And then we have, obviously, our mortgages above prime to about 2005. We went with some cheap money in the mortgage rates, being as prime went up, which would affect like your revolving credit, your furniture loans, your credit cards, your gas cards, whatever. They tend to pick up off of the prime rate, but mortgages stayed relatively cheap in comparison. So we probably started paying off with some refis, some loans on those higher interest type credit cards. And it stayed that way until 2008. Can anyone who's watching this remember what happened in 2008? Well, as I tell people on my status chat, the trouble started way before the crash with the monetary and physical policies that we had out there. They caused it. Then we had 2008. Now we've had Dodd-Frank since then. How did the government respond, though? The government responded by driving the prime to almost nothing. Cheap money to try to get the economy back on track because they wanted people, if you're trying to lower all those other businesses, your credit card, all those things, those gas cards down, if they're keyed off of the prime, dropping the prime to next to nothing will drop people's interest accumulation. And it stayed that way until about 2018, where we went subprime again, where these mortgages seem to be subprime, to about 2020, where we pushed it right down to the bottom, to the basement. Now I want you to notice before I slide the screen up, the green line, 30-year, is up above 5. Now this is May, end of May. We've got 2 weeks since then. We have the orange and of course the blue being the prime, and it's right at just under 4% in end of May. I'm going to slide this up because I want you to notice this line right here. The prime rate is the target rate plus 3%. So when I have up here this flat line just above 3%, what does that tell you? It tells us that we have a plus 3, and only this tiny bit is the target rate. The target rate is just darn near 0. Next tab. This one's from the Treasury Department. We talked about Treasury bills, that red line. Slide on down. That was a 10-year Treasury because we have different type of T-bills. 10-year, 1.63 in the 1st of January. That's actually the third day, but the start of January. 1.63. Let's third column from the right. Let's go on down and see where it is as of, well, not today, but yesterday. We see 3.28. So we have doubled the Treasury rate in a year. Now let's look at this page, Federal Reserve Bank Atlanta. It is a secure page, it's HTTPS, and I'm going to slide down here because they have something I want to introduce you to. Let me slide it up so that my little box is below it, and I'm not cutting anything out we need to talk about. This is interactive. As we slide across, it's just like my page over on my charts on my webpage called DellToSell.com, 1L and Dell. So we want to look at this number, 1219, the mid December meeting. This is the Federal Reserve Bank in Atlanta. Now, that's going to be right about there. We're going to go up to December, and if I step on that blue line, it says the expected basis points range at December will be 367. And remember, we do 2 digits predominantly for basis points. So a 150 is a 1.5%, and a 175 is 1 3/4. So if December is projected by Atlanta to be 367, and we remember that formula we just saw at the target rate plus 3%, this would be equivalent in the end of the year at 6.67% roughly. But there we have it. Now, what causes this big jump of interest, this new jump in the prime? Well, one good news we see from this chart, at least it looks like they're going to try to keep it about 350 on the target range, and that'll keep it about 6.5 at the prime, should stay about 6.5, somewhere around in there, if this holds true through 2025. That seems to be a healthier process. Let's go back to the Federal Reserve Bank in Atlanta, research and data. We're going to go to the inflation project. That's the tab we're looking at right here. And here's a nice video that I didn't do, but the Atlanta Fed did, and it explains inflation and cost of living increases and the difference between them. It's actually a pretty good video. I'm actually pretty impressed. But to save you time, because I know this can run long, I have it queued up. I don't have this in this video, but I have it queued at the right spot where we talk about inflation. This is the first of videos that the Atlanta Fed is going to do, and I have it queued for you. You can find that video queued up, the link to it, in the status chat as the last link of the things that we use, and you can bring it up and watch the cause of inflation, and it will make things crystal clear how we got into this mess and perhaps how we can avoid running into it in the future. So let's go back to the show. Hello, I'm Dell Delbridge of Benchmark Realty, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. If you are currently unrepresented and would like to know how to compare up to 3 properties side by side and room by room, then go over to my new YouTube channel, Call Dell to Sell. That's 1L and Dell, no spaces. Watch the demo on Real Scout, and then call me and we'll set up your exclusive ad-free account today. Now that all that's over with, again, I'm reminding you, go to the description here in the status chat and watch that little video. It's shorter than mine, and it's very informative. It'll explain. You'll never be confused again where this comes from. Now, I have last week's numbers. These come from the Real Scout system. If you don't have a Real Scout account, get one with me today. Let's get together. It's ad-free. You can compare up to 3 houses side by side and room by room. I have that for you. I charge nothing. Get in there, get it set up, and get working on it. We also have in the system 11,419 opportunities in that Real Scout system. Now this includes the coming soon, so that you get they put it before your eyes, the coming soons, and it also has the on the market. So that number is 11,419. It was up over the previous period last week of 6/10/22. We had 4313 in the under contract still showing. If it's the first time you've seen this show, an under contract still showing is a house that is still being shown, still taking backup offers, but it's actually got a contract on it, and they're hoping that'll go through, but they're still showing it for whatever reason they might have. You need to have a real estate professional that has the knowledge to get those backup offers in the right form out there if there's a house like that under the still showing. The integer ratio between those two was 38%, and it fell 1 percentage point over the previous week. This week, we have 6/17/2022. We have 11,996 in the opportunities. That's up over the previous period. 4281 in the under contract still showing. That's down over the previous period. And the integer ratio between those two is 36%. What does that mean? It's actually dropped 2 points at the integer level. Well, one is the opportunity, which gives you an idea of how much inventory is out there. How many people are holding on to what they have but still showing it may give you an indication of how confident they are that the contract they have will stay and go through or will not go through and may have to fall back on a second. Either which way, you need a professional helping you with that. And if you hadn't noticed, I'm not much of a salesman. I am a real estate professional. If you're looking for somebody who will present you with sunshine, lollipops, rainbows, and lemon drops, I may not be a good emotional fit for you because I'm a professional. I'm not a salesman as much as I am the professional that gets in here and deals with this sort of thing. So you can find me. You see the thing that has been changing at the bottom of the screen. Find me at any of those contacts. And you can find me at a lot of resources at my website at calldeltosell.com. That's one L in Dell, DEL, and then of course, two and call, word two, not number two, to sell.com. Go check that out. I have some charts set up that are live and interactive to the last concluded month that you can go check a varying number of important things that you might want to look at. And we appreciate you watching.